Hello, everyone. Welcome back to And Moving Forward vlog. Yay! Okay, so we're here with myself, Chynel, Chapter 28 Beauty.
I am Ronai with Anomaly the Agency, and we have a very special guest today.
Hi, I'm Arminthia with HuneyLuxx.
Yes.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, HuneyLuxx is the go-to for your fashion accessories. And so, yes, it was overdue, long overdue that we have you on the show today. So just to kind of, before we dive in, for our viewers, just to kind of give you an idea, because I know you're sitting here like, wow, where the hell have y'all been? We've been working. So with that being said, we're probably going to take it back a notch a little bit and maybe do a video once a month, maybe try to fit 2 per month, just depending on our schedules. We're not over with, we're not done. We're just, slowing it down a little bit just because business is picking up. So all for good reason. But yeah, so first and foremost, HuneyLuxx. Tell us what it is, where the name came from. I'm definitely interested in the name.
So like I said, it started as a hobby, and it kind of just developed from there once I realized the great support that I received from other people. And I was like, hold on, this is something that I can continue doing. And honestly, the name, I wanted something sweet, sexy, but also with that luxe in it, because I wanted to stand, luxury. It's like affordable luxury. Sweet with, just a little bit of boldness to what we got over here.
Yes.
So that's basically the name.
Okay. And so how long has it been since you've been in the business? I know it's been, it feels like a hot little minute.
It is. It'll be 2 years in April.
2 years?
So about 1.5 years now, which honestly, it doesn't seem like that at all.
Damn, I was thinking time is flying. Yeah. 2 years. I was not thinking that it was that long that you were out. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It has been a minute. I did fall off the scene for a little bit, but I kind of got back into it. And I think that's why since there was a little pause and I rebranded everything, I kind of wanted to be like a fresh new look, fresh new start, which I did this year in April. So it doesn't seem that long, but it's going to be about 2 years, which I'm excited about. Okay. The first 5 years are the hardest, and some days I don't have it in me, but I persevere.
Right. Yeah, the first 5 years are the hardest. I heard that, and I'm sitting here like 5 years. Look,
5.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
wait. Hold on. Okay. So with that being said, though, what do you think are the biggest challenges that you've overcome with this business so far in the past 2 years?
I hate to say it, but I feel like I have a lot of different challenges for me personally. Maybe other people wouldn't. But for me, it's kind of like just finding my voice in my brand. I think nowadays, I feel like after COVID, a lot of people decided like, I'm gonna go for me. I'm gonna do my own business. I think there's a lot of competition, not competition, but there's a lot to choose from.
Yes.
And that's okay. However, it's just like, look how they're doing so good. And, just that comparison always gets me.
Right.
But, I love what I do. I know that I'm going to continue to do it. So I think that's one of the challenges for me is, just finding where I stand in the midst of so many different businesses.
Right.
And how I could be different.
No, I feel that. And that actually, I want to cover this solely in one of our next vlogs, but that kind of falls into the imposter syndrome. And I've been reading a lot about imposter syndrome lately. And for anybody who hasn't heard about it, so imposter syndrome is basically when you psych yourself out and you start feeling like you're a fraud. Like you start feeling like, can I do this? Like, do I really know what I'm doing type of thing? You develop this mindset and it makes you feel like you're an imposter. And so, it's very common. And again, like a lot of the influencers that have been in business for years and years, they talk about it very often because it's such a common thing. And I think that people don't know how to pinpoint that. But like going into what you were saying, like the fact that there's so much healthy competition, because competition, you know, there's always going to be somebody who does it differently. You know what I mean? Not better, not worse, just different, you know? So, and the beauty of that though, is like, okay, maybe I don't offer anything that you like, but here are some other great places that you can go to find what you're looking for. And that's how we continue to build the community. You know what I mean? So I feel that. And I feel like that too. Like I definitely have my moments where I'm like, damn, like there's so many PR agencies out there. Like, what am I really bringing to the table? You know, I spend a lot of time just taking time to think like, what is my niche? You know, like it takes time. It takes a different type of mentality, especially as you continue to level up to get out of that, like, okay, like I got this, you know, like, you know, to get out of your head. Yeah. Honestly, truly. Yes. Chynel.
Yeah, I need to get out of my head. I agree with that.
I mean, I definitely think that we all go through that at some point in our businesses. But what I will say is something that can help with that imposter syndrome is really, truly living through your mission statement. So that's telling you, your mission statement is telling you your why. If you have that down on paper, that is definitely something to follow, you know, and that's how I've pretty much been able to come up out of the imposter syndrome, I would say, because there's a million salons, a million and trillion salons out there. There's a million girls that do hair, that do braids. So of course I have to ask myself, what makes me different? Like, why would anybody want to come to me?
Right.
And really just sticking to my mission, which is to provide quality service to every client. And that's what I do. And that's why my clients continue to come back to me. So with that being said, Arminthia, what is your mission for HuneyLuxx?
My mission is to continue to provide luxury look at an affordable price.
Right.
I kind of take me as an example because I've always considered myself as like, you know, somewhat quiet, introverted, but I have my moments where I want to be bold. Maybe not all the time. I might not be that it girl, quote unquote. However, you know, I want to look good. I want, you know, statement pieces. So for me, I want to be able to give you guys or whoever's interested in, you know, some really nice pieces at an affordable price. That's basically my mission.
Okay.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because at one point or another, we're all balling on a budget. You know what I mean? So we want to look cute. We want to feel good. And we don't got the money to be rocking $800 shoes and this and that. You know what I mean? We're all out here trying to develop businesses, and, you know, some people have kids and we have all these other different goals that we're trying to obtain. So it's like, I feel that. And I feel like because of that, that kind of puts you in a different category altogether, because again, somebody might have your product, but they're charging a higher price for it. You know what I mean? And so the person feels like it's unobtainable, and it's just like, well, nah, we have this product over here. It's the same product at an affordable price. You know what I mean? Like, you still look good. Like, it doesn't change a thing. And I think, like, as far as finding your tone, because that's something that I feel like is very common as well. Like, I feel like the best advice that can be given there as far as like your tone is just be yourself. You know what I mean? Whatever your tone is, somebody's going to feel that. You know what I mean? There's definitely people that feel the way you feel. You know what I mean? Not just business wise, but just like your mentality, stuff like that. And there's a niche for everybody. And I think that that's the best part of building your own business, is that you genuinely can make it whatever you want, and whatever you decide, once you own that shit, that's it. You know what I mean? Just the fact that you owned it, I truly feel is enough to make it a successful thing. So I get that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a work in progress. You know, it's been a lot of trial and error for me, but there's no stopping at this point. I mean, I've put so much time, so much work, so much effort. It's only up from here.
Yes.
So I guess I can go into the next question for you. What do you love the most about, number one, running your own business, but just in general, your brand and in the fashion industry?
A lot of it. I enjoy that, like Ronai said, that I have control over the look, what I provide, the products, everything is in my control, and I enjoy that. I have like having control over these things, and working on my time. If I want to, I do have kids, so if I want to work from midnight till 6 in the morning, I can do that. Yeah. As well as, just looking at different products and all the beautiful things that I could, add and eventually will add to the collection. So yeah, those are, basically my favorite thing about it. I think something that stands out about HuneyLuxx is definitely the name. The name stands out. It's not something that's very common. I feel like it rolls off the tongue a little bit, or maybe not.
But
just the name, I just want something cute, something sophisticated. So the name, I guess.
Yes. No, I definitely agree. And even just the way that you went about like spelling it, I feel like you just you flipped it and you made it your own. You know what I mean? And like so it stands out just off of the strength that you did that, you know what I mean? You changed the way you spelled it. And then, don't think we didn't notice that you definitely pay attention to the seasons and you've been switching up the logo accordingly, because that's one of my favorite parts of it. I love the fact that you do that. That's a great idea because you're paying attention to that. Yes.
Honestly, I don't know why I decided to do that one day, but I was like, I think this would be a cute idea. And sometimes it's just the smallest details for people. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Nah, for real. Because here's the thing, like, especially when you're in the fashion industry, it's like you have to keep up with the trends, and I feel like that was a big piece right there, just doing that because, of course your logo is your logo and it is what it is and it's right there for you to see. But the fact that you're doing and changing up little details so that people feel that, you know what I mean? Like, we were in fall, we got the fall vibes, and now we're going into winter, so we got some winter vibes, like you feel that. And then you feel like, okay, so she switched her logo, so now it's time for me to switch up, what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a reminder to, fashionistas and influencers, like it's about that time. So yeah.
Well, thank you. I got some great things coming. I have so many ideas. It's in the works. It's a little overwhelming at times. However, I'm gonna get it done. So I'm hoping on, an expansion within the next year.
Okay.
So wish me luck.
Yes. What advice would you give somebody who's starting an e-commerce business? Because let's be clear, I feel like, you had the advantage of starting 2 years or a year and some change prior to what we're looking at right now in the world, and so what, like you said earlier, what you're finding is a lot of people this year have really took a step and started building their businesses. So it's like, what advice would you give, like, now that you kind of have that thing that sets you apart in a sense?
I could give a lot of advice, but I think I'm gonna just stick to 2. One would be just do it. There's gonna be people around you that don't believe you. There are gonna be people around you that are gonna say, your job is good enough, or your situation is good. You don't need. There's how many other boutiques out there. You're just gonna be a number or another Instagram page. However, I think that we should just follow your gut. If it's something that you truly want to do, just do it. Don't wait. Don't wait another week. Don't wait another month. Don't wait another year. Definitely just do it. A second advice would be do your research with licensing, trademarks, all that legal stuff, as well as the type of products you want to have and the type of demo you want to have. Who's your demographic? Who are you catering to? Right. So I think research and just going forward would be the 2 main pieces of advice that I could give.
Yes, I really like to. No, go ahead, Chynel.
No, I was just saying I can relate to that 100%. I mean, I think one of the hardest things about the fashion industry is that there's so much stuff to choose from.
Yes.
It's really hard to narrow down what it is that you're trying to sell, because, oh my God, that. And then another thing that I want to add to the advice is your vendors. Like, do your research specifically on your vendors, the people who you're getting your product from. Things that make a difference are your shipping. Your shipping can put you out of business, you know, on your items, especially if you don't have a steady flow of income and you're trying to get all this merch. It's really hard to keep up with these shipping rates overseas. And then 2, make sure that what you're getting is quality.
Right.
And make sure, one of the issues I ran into was a vendor that I was ordering from stopped making what I was ordering. So I wasn't prepared for that. So people are now trying to order more of something that they don't even make anymore. And on one end, it's like, okay, you guys got the exclusive, but on another end, it's like, dag, like, that was a really good deal. And I wish I could have continued to sell that, because I would have been really making, you know, generating some revenue from that.
Right.
So that's another point. I said that's a good point. That's another point for you guys, anyone who's interested in going into the fashion industry. Definitely know your demographic and know who you're selling to, because that's how you're going to know what to sell.
Yes. Right. And even just to add to that, because I can definitely advocate for that as well. And it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. I mean, just in general, you have to do your research. Like, you know, one thing is everything isn't for everybody. And you know that as a customer, but I think sometimes people don't even realize that as a business owner. And it's hard for them, because especially depending on the business, you go into a business and you're like, nah, I want everybody to have it, but you're not realizing like demographic matters. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who not only can they not relate to what you're selling, but they can't relate to how you're selling it. You know what I mean? Right. How you sell something is very important. And I'm constantly thinking about that, because even when you get phone calls and people try to sell to you and you feel like you're being sold, I feel like our generation and younger generations are less likely to move forward, just because we're being sold. You know what I mean? People want to build rapport. They want to build relationships with the people that they're buying from now. And we're really trying to make it more community-like. And I feel like we do have an advantage there with social media for sure, because it's a community. It's an online community, and it's an expressive community at that. Like, you can express your opinions, you know, post beautiful pictures, post what you feel, whatever the case may be. And so it's really important to tie that into your business. And I think that's really where the tone part of it comes from too, is that's where you really start to develop your own tone within your business, because you're communicating in a way where people can relate to you, but on a more personal level. And then they're like, hey, you know what? I really want to buy this. Like, just off of the strength that you're a dope ass person and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then, you know, again, like, but there are going to be some people that are just like, I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? This is not my style.
And that's okay.
Yes, absolutely. And it's absolutely okay. And I think people get butthurt at first and they're like, damn, you know, and then as you develop, you start to realize, like, you know what? Again, all right, it's not for you, but it's definitely for somebody. You know what I mean? And so those are the people that you keep pushing for. So I think, and even with influencers, you know, I will say, you know, especially in the hair care and the fashion industry, you know, these are people that you interact with at one point or another, you know, regularly, as far as, you know, reaching out for product reviews, you know, just having people to promote your product and stuff. You got to do your research on them too. And what I can say for anybody that's looking to like pitch to those people, find something personal. People love being pitched personal stuff. So if you reach out to them like, oh my God, your dog is so cute, or I love that bag you wore the other day, more than likely that's what's going to keep them going. You know what I mean? Because then you're paying attention to what they're posting. You're not just selling them to promote your product. You're actually putting in the work to see who they are as a person. And that's what people want. That's really what people want, especially in your industry. So yeah, research at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And you can find everything that you need on Google, YouTube. It's literally right at your fingertips. If you do not want to get the research done, you clearly aren't trying. You don't want to get it done, because you can find everything that you need. So I agree.
I did want to mention one thing, and I think this is me just throwing something in the air. Either one of you guys can chime in. social media has made starting a business look so easy, you know, because there's all these cool, very interesting, convenient integrations that we have now for the Facebook and the Instagram and the TikTok and stuff like that.
Yes.
But starting your own business, your own boutique, your own shop, or online e-commerce business is not just about creating a page and posting your merch. And it's important that people know that before they go into it, because you would have wasted a lot of money. There's a lot of work on the back end that needs to be done. Marketing is one of the biggest things that we expect Facebook and Instagram to do the marketing for us, right? We expect that when we post, all our friends are going to see what we have, and then all our friends are going to buy what we have. And that's not how it works.
Not at all.
Yes, to all your friends will see what you have, but if you're creating a store or you're creating an online shopping site for your friends, taking that to Instagram and Facebook is not what you needed. Right. I often say, and I've said this before, you know, if you're going to try to cater to your friends and your family, you're probably going to fail, because there's only, and even if they're going to continue to buy, there's only but so much they can buy. Absolutely. Your goal is to reach people who don't know you.
Yes.
Who are also interested in your fashion. So we need to find better ways to do that. And I'm a person of myself. Like, I thought that, you know, making an Instagram page and paying to run this ad was just going to get it for me. And it didn't. Very quickly did I learn that did not work. And I didn't see any revenue from that. And sometimes it takes that, though. Sometimes you got to run it maybe 3 or 4 times before you actually see 1 or 2 sales. So Ronai, what would your insight on that be for those who are depending on their social media to basically run their business?
I mean, here's the thing, you know, with that being said, I think to your first point, social media absolutely makes it seem very easy. And I think especially now more than ever, because so many people are doing it. And so it's kind of like, damn, well, they're opening a business and people are doing it during a pandemic. So that just makes it even more like, oh, this must be an easy thing. You know, when people don't really think about the back end of things, the paperwork in general, you know what I mean? Filing an LLC and doing these things, like you literally, it takes time. It takes time. It takes money. It takes patience. It takes a lot of things. But what I will say as far as growing, and let's be clear, like she said, you have hundreds of followers that know you, grew up with you, like, oh, I see you out here doing your thing. Won't like a post, won't repost, won't purchase a nothing, not a damn thing. And it's very sad. And everybody can relate to it, unfortunately. You know what I mean? But I think if you really want to take it that extra level, I mean, in simplest terms, like, honestly, build relationships. I mean, you're literally on a social community platform. Reach out to people, retweet, like, start conversations. You know what I mean? Create an environment where people can have conversations. Even though you have a fashion brand or a hair care brand, that does not mean that you're not able to spark conversation and other things. I think people are so scared of controversy when in reality, they don't realize everything we do is controversial one way or another. You know what I mean? There is somebody who really, for whatever reason, might find your product offensive, or might find that it's leaning towards too much of one side and it's not helping out the other. Controversy is everywhere, and it's not necessarily always a bad thing, even though it sounds like a bad thing. You want to spark conversation. You want to get people's minds flowing and going. Yes.
Wait, because something just came to my mind. Remember when people, when you used to put something up and somebody would go like your entire page showing mad love?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then you would shout that, and then you would turn around and shout that person out. Shout out to XYZ for showing all this love.
Yes.
They don't do that no more. Do you know we don't do that no more?
Why did we stop doing that?
You know what? It's crazy because I do see people that do that. And I feel like a lot of it is more like the photography and film side that I see. A lot of my photography people I see do that a lot. My models and stuff, my model friends, they do stuff like that. I don't know. I think that people tend to become so prideful. You know, I think that, again, the having, you know, different opinions and people are scared to express themselves. And again, like, just going right back to it, like, it's okay to spark conversation. It's okay to agree to disagree. Like, you know, you can have a conversation about, oh, what does this piece mean to you outside of this and that? You can promote that post.
I guess that was just one of the things that to show you how social media and people have evolved on social media. Like, since when are you too important to like somebody's too cool to like somebody's post? And I used to like seeing that. Like, I don't know, for me it's like, okay, if it was another girl doing it, then that was one thing. But like, I mean, if it was a guy doing it, I didn't really care. Like, all right, you trying to slide in again. But if it was a girl doing it, what?
I'm sorry. I have noticed that the algorithm is just so crazy on Instagram. There'll be a lot of things that you guys will post, and I won't even see till like hours later, if not the next day. So I'll be like, oh, I gotta like this. I gotta like this.
Right.
I feel like I'm like her. I love liking people's pictures.
Yes,
like, it does not cost me a dime to like y'all pics.
Yes.
On y'all pics. It doesn't bother me. So when I don't like it, I'll be like, oh man, I hope they don't feel something. Let me like this picture, you know. But the algorithm is just so crazy now that, you know, you see the same things over and over and over, and you don't get to see this, you know, the smaller pages, or, you know, with people that don't have 10K followers or more, or 100, you know, all that crazy.
They're definitely showing us what they want us to see. They're definitely showing us. As soon as I logged in and seen how the Instagram updated, I was just like, what is this? And all I see is hair and makeup, hair and makeup, hair and makeup, like as if I don't do anything else and I don't like anything else. You know, so
and that's a fact. And like, honestly, like, even going back into why like people don't show love, I think that people started taking social media too seriously. I think they started feeling like, oh, well, if I'm not exclusive on here, then I ain't exclusive anywhere. When in reality, you ain't exclusive anywhere. Let's be like, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, shout out to everybody who's, you know, influencers or whatever. Like, I get it. But here's the thing is, like, you're not known everywhere. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's just social media. Take all of this away. Who are you? What's your story? What are you doing? Like, you know, like, let's really keep it real for a second. And I think people are scared to step away from that limelight, so to speak. And so, and I see it all the time. And I'm just like, I don't ever want to take it too seriously. But now that it's become such a huge business tool, I think people are just, they don't know how to differentiate that. And I think, again, like, building rapport, like, honestly, like, I don't think people understand the value of a like, a repost, a comment, oh, you know, cute product, you know, whatever, like, literally, like, honestly, when you comment, people more than like, okay, so when you're trolling at late at night and you're looking at somebody's wild ass post, you're going to the comments and looking to see what everybody else said. You know what I mean? And I definitely still read like, oh, you should check out my mixtape. And I just laugh because I'm like, you know what? I feel you. Like, you're really just trying to like, I don't really agree with how you're going about it. Like, this post is mad sad, but like, go do your thing. Like, get in where you fit in, bro. Like, that's the thing is like, you know, but I agree with the algorithm thing too, because I'm happy to see on my business page, it's nothing but public relations, marketing, think Black businesses, a lot of stuff like that. I love seeing that. But like you said, I go on my other page and it's a totally different world. And I'm just like, yo, like, where is the rest of Instagram? Like, I'm just in a little box. I'm just in a little box right now. Like, you're just showing me. Yes.
That's exactly what it is. It's putting us in boxes. That's exactly what it is. They're putting us in boxes. So I guess my reason for saying that is we got to figure out how to function without the social media. That is a marketing. And I was just going to get to that. We have to figure out how to get back to the traditional marketing and face to face and the sales. We got to get back to that.
Here's the thing though, and that never went away. I think people just are so focused on what's so popping right now that they overlook that old stuff. You know what I mean? Even what you're being taught, it's all about digital media and nothing else. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, I was just speaking to, you know, I went to a networking meeting yesterday and I was speaking to somebody and they were saying how they partnered with people in their community. They partnered with colleges and high schools, and they try to mix their product with their actual message so that the two kind of come together, and it's like a promotion tactic. And, you know, even with things, you know, shutting down and opening back up, whatever, like, trying to navigate that and try to maintain, you know, that community. And I think that's important too. Number one, networking events, like, Seriously, the love that I received from the networking event yesterday, and I was in a room full of 40 people I did not know, minus one person that I went with, was beautiful. Absolutely amazing. The networking event that we held last week, beautiful. Even a small intimate setting, had a blast, had so many good conversations. Do not underestimate the value of networking with people you don't know. Don't feel stupid. Don't feel like you can't do it. Like, just do it. You know, that's how you get back into the world, because you're stepping away from the screen and you're actually meeting people face to face, and you're building rapport. You're showing them who you are outside of your business, outside of what you want them to see. And so that's so important, you know, and then reaching out to local communities. You know what I mean? How can I benefit you? What can I do? Pop-up shows, trying to be a vendor for, you know, different things. There's so many different ways of promoting and marketing your product outside of social media. But again, we're so caught up in the hype of what social media is and what it currently does and the opportunities it's presented. Let's be clear. You know, you could do a paid promotion, and that goes all the way to China or wherever the hell you want it to go. You know what I mean? That's huge. We need that. We can't overlook that. But then there's also still a lot of value stepping out of your house safely, and speaking at the, you know, at local functions and seeing how you can get in where you fit in. That's it. Like, that's what I ask people that have had successful businesses that have passed their 5-year marks and are growing tremendously. And I was like, what did you do to gain clients? What did you do? You know, and they were like, I networked. Anything and everything that I was able to attend, go to, support, whatever, I did. It didn't even matter if it didn't relate to me, my industry immediately. I just went to it, because you meet so many people and all you have to do is have a conversation, and people won't forget that. You know what I mean? You stand out. You know what I mean? And so, you know, we just got to stop underestimating the value of that. And again, I think social media definitely adds a different flavor to it, but we can still do traditional stuff. You know what I mean? You can still rely on going, you know, knocking on doors or whatever, you know, whatever.
I don't know about knocking on any.
I was gonna say knocking on doors. You know, a lot of people don't do that.
I'm not doing no knocking on doors.
No, not.
But I get where I was going.
No, I mean, just.
I feel like that traditional marketing. I feel like with the traditional marketing, it's more of a. I don't know if you guys have heard this saying, is if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Mm-hmm. You got different people that you can connect with, different segues. Like, you don't know, like maybe me meeting Chynel for the first time, how that can impact my business, compared to me just knowing her through Instagram. Like, there's no personal connection. And, you know, that just goes back to how disconnected we are, though we're so connected. However, that traditional marketing, you know, I think that one is a big one for me, because I was saying that I wasn't sure if I wanted to have a small little location, you know, only because with everything going on with the pandemic and everybody just selling things online, you know, would a shop be a waste or, you know, more costly than anything? But, you know, I think having that personal connection with people is very important, if not probably the most important thing.
The baby's up.
And what I will say, to even going further for you, because I think like with your industry, you have a really great way that you can market. Right now, it sucks because it's a little up in the air with this whole pandemic thing. I know some places are closing again, some places are still open. It's really, and it sucks, but pop-up shows. I think pop-up shows would be a really great thing for both of your industries, just because you reach out to certain people, you get certain licensing or whatever the case may be, and it's like you're not set to one location, and so then it makes you even more exclusive because you're just popping up. These are really common things in New York, and New York is a little different. That's one of the fashion capitals, you know, so obviously it's a little more popular over there. But if you put yourself, you grow your audience a little bit more, and you have these pop-up shows like, hey, I'm gonna be here, this and that, you know, whatever, have a little champagne or whatever you can do, and then it's boutique, you know what I mean? You have specific items out. It's real, you know, cute, small little area, like whatever the case may be. You can do those things, and I think, again, it sucks right now because you're not really sure if you can actually do those things or not. But you know, something to look forward to in the future, because I, you know, speaking to people even now, they're like, yeah, I have pop-up shows that I'm, you know, planning and working on, and I just think that's a great way to put yourself out there without committing to one space and without having to worry, like you said, if I should, you know, commit to this one space and, you know, have to worry if it fails or not.
Right. Yeah. And I have seen there's a lot of events out here in Houston, but majority of them are virtual. And I'm like, well, that's cool. Like virtual pop-up shows and virtual PR events, marketing events. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's very convenient, especially for someone like me with, you know, 3 kids. I'm like, I bet I can just hop online for a few hours. But you know, like we said, that traditional marketing, I want to meet other people, whether we're in the same field or not. You know, I want to, you know, converse. I want to get to know. I want to learn. If anything, I want to learn, especially from people that have been, like you said, you have met people that have been in their business for over 10, 15 years. Like that's goals. You know, learn from the wise or from the experienced.
Right.
Yes, I agree. I mean, and that's just what it is. And I think, you know, again, I feel like this really brought out a lot of creativity in a lot of people. You know what I mean? After over these past couple of months, people have, I mean, even Halloween. I don't know if y'all went out for Halloween, but Halloween was creative. It was different. It wasn't the same, but it was definitely different and a little more creative in some areas. People are, you know, and like, it's crazy because I went out in my grandma's neighborhood and took my little cousins, and like, I was just speaking to some of the people and they were just like, this is like my favorite holiday. And it sucks that we can't really do what we usually want to do, but like they still made the most of it. You know what I mean? And I think it's really just navigating that and just trying to figure it out. And I think like, if you have an idea, I think now's the perfect time. If you have an idea and it sounds a little off the wall, I feel like now's the perfect time to run with that idea a little bit and see how that transforms and transpires, because what do you have to lose at this point? Like,
absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
At this point, anything is possible. Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Exactly. All right. Well, Chynel, anything else?
I had something else, but it just went very far away from me. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here thinking about like you said, like, if you have something that you're thinking about doing, take the time to do your research, but you should embark on that journey, because what the pandemic has shown us all is that nobody's essential. Nothing is essential. Like, at the end of the day, you have to choose what's essential to you.
Right.
Nobody else can choose that. You know what I'm saying? So figure out how to have some type of trade and some type of backup income for you. Even if you're working, you know, another job, you still need to have that backup. I don't know when it became normalized that we would just need to focus on one job.
Right.
Because it's not going to get it, and it ain't been getting it.
Right.
We ain't been, I mean, we've been living paycheck to paycheck, like all our lives. We never got that chance. But had we been doing this from the door, straight out of high school, and we're like, girl, let's do this boutique, let's do this hair salon, we could be very comfortable right now. Right. We could be very successful right now. Unfortunately, we're starting these businesses and just later on in life. And it's like, you know, we need to speed it up. And I think that now kids are taking advantage, and the younger generation, the youth, they are taking advantage of these opportunities. But the issue is that we don't have enough people really showing them the ropes.
Right.
They're going about it the same way we go about it. And we're older, and we done experienced our credit and all this and stuff changing. They don't even have that yet. They ain't even do nothing yet. So yeah, I mean, go for it. Start now. Ronai always says start before you're ready. I'm a firm believer of that. And Arminthia, I mean, for you, I just think that you should keep doing what you're doing.
For sure.
I see it. I appreciate it. I definitely think that creating more content that would be personable, like that because I know you, but that others can relate to. I think that's important as well. Mm-hmm. One other thing, I follow this girl who she just does makeup, right? She just does makeup. You never hear her voice. She never talks. She just does a quick tutorial, and it's always bomb. She finally decided to talk on her video, and her new videos are just content of her talking through her makeup tutorials, and it makes the world a difference. She already was like, she's an amazing stylist. She's an amazing makeup artist. But now with her talking and discussing her anxiety that she has and why she wasn't talking and how people were saying she needed to open up more, that just grabbed more people. She's relating with more people on another level. It has nothing to do with makeup. It has everything to do with she has anxiety crossing the street. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And it's crazy, not to cut you up, but just going in with that, like, she's out here doing makeup. She's out here doing this thing. And little do you know, the whole story behind her is she don't speak because she's scared to talk. You know what I mean? But here she is, meat in the face. Like, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Literally.
Yeah. And I think for me personally, I do have, like I've mentioned before, I feel like I have not found my niche. Niche? Is that the word?
I say
I don't know. I say, yeah, it depends on my mood.
I haven't found it yet, and I'm looking for it, and I don't want to feel like I'm psyching myself out.
Right.
But I'm just trying things. I'm trying to see what I get comfortable with, what I feel like people respond to most.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll find it when I find it, you know, but until then,
you're having fun. As long as you're having fun, we're gonna see whatever. Right. Well, as long as you're having fun with the thing, like, this is your
relatable.
Business. Right.
Just being relatable. Arminthia, you're extremely relatable. You have children, you have a small business, it's fashion, you exercise, you done had the crazy snapback 2 times in a row. I'm sick of it.
Hey, look, like, it's not as easy as it looks.
I know. So pull these people in, pulling customers in with relatable content.
Yes.
And then showing them and providing them with something that you can offer. You know, as well. I think it's really cool. I think you should try that a little bit more.
No, seriously. I mean, honestly, like with clients that I've worked with and posting for them and stuff, some of the highest liked posts were just behind the scenes. Like, just seeing what people do behind the scenes. Like, and I'm a huge advocate for behind the scenes. Like, taking pictures of you with your kids working on your product.
Right.
Yeah. Guess what? You know how many people in the world can relate to that? Having a baby in hand, having kids over here, working on your business, like,
all right, y'all are dropping
phone right here like this,
right?
The phone right here,
Yeah, but working though, you're working though, like, that's it. I seen a picture the other day. It was this girl who had just given birth, and she had the baby in her hand, and she got all these books. She's doing some like homework or something, and I see that meme all the time. And every time I see it, I'm like, yes. Like, because it's a powerful image, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, he didn't stop, you know what I mean? And that's, I mean, let's be clear, not to be all feminist or whatnot, but that's power of a female, you know, that's the power of women. We get shit done by any means necessary, like, you know what I mean? And I just feel like that in itself is enough for people to want to support your product, you know what I mean? Oh, she's just like me. Oh, sis secure in the bag, let me support her because you know, that she's really about what I'm about. You know what I mean? She wakes up, you know what I mean? Like, relatability, like, that really is key. Like, building rapport with people, like, and communicating. Hey, you know what I mean? I love, you know what I mean? And I feel like you're good at that. I feel like you know how to talk to people. You have your other vlogs, you know what I mean? Like, you know how to relate. Shit, just bring that shit onto your business page, and, you know, it'll change the game. And because, honestly, I would also just, you know, when it comes down, do what you're not seeing other people do. So, like, if you're seeing a bunch of the people that you're looking up to are, like, influential, and you're like, oh, they're doing a lot of this. Okay, so what is it that they're not doing? Let me go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? And let me kind of switch it up a little bit and change the game a little bit. Because, honestly, that's alone is what's going to set you apart. Oh, I've never seen that before. Oh, sis is out here posting, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, you know, and somebody's going to feel that. Somebody, like, for real. So. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. This means a lot to me. This conversation is definitely has, I don't know, definitely lift my spirits.
Yeah.
Giving me I don't know, some love. I feel the love. I appreciate it.
Yes, that's what we need right now. We all need that right now. Shit. Right.
Desperate.
Absolutely.
Desperate.
Yes.
Wow. Yes, I second that, Chynel.
So you want to wrap it up, Ronai?
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Vlog number 27. Arminthia of HuneyLuxx. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. As usual, we will have the tags at the end of the video. Follow, like, repost. Do not be afraid to support. It doesn't cost you. It doesn't hurt you. Lovely products, popping products. Check it out. Support the movement. You know what I mean? We're all just out here trying to be some, you know? So I'm Ronai with Anomaly the Agency.
I'm Chynel with Chapter 28 Beauty, and our special guest,
Arminthia with HuneyLuxx.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.